So I used to be someone just like you. That person that would watch YouTube after YouTube in the hope that I'd find some gold, in the hope that I'd learn something more. And I'm not saying that doing that is wrong. Please just understand. But I used to fill my day 24/7. I was always busy. I'd never stop. And at my worst, when my mental health was really bad, I was in a constant spiral. I'd never stop. It was continuous looping over and over. And yet, the one thing that you really crave is silence of your mind. And I'm really at this point where silence feels strange after 40 plus years of trauma. And I worked with a client a couple of weeks ago, and she said to me, but all I've ever known is a dysregulated nervous system. All I've ever known is trauma. All I've ever known is being ill. All I've ever known is being sick. And that used to be me. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I really sat with myself and I went, okay, I really have to do some massive healing. Because back in 2024, I lost my caravan. On the 2nd of January 2024, I watched my caravan and all of my possessions and everything I owned go down the river at St. Neots. And what was one of the most scariest things in the whole world turned out to be the very best. Because I had to lose it all to realise that the one thing I needed to do, that was heal my inner child. And I will say genuinely, honestly, as much as you want to heal your inner child, the silence, sitting with them, talking to them, is the one thing they're very scared of. And that's why I say in so many of my videos and so much of my content, genuinely, the one thing your inner child wants from you is just time. They don't want to talk about the trauma, and that's why you avoid the inner child work. Because so many teachings of inner child healing out there are, you're safe now. Let me talk to you about what dad did. Let me talk to you about what mum did. When actually, truly, your inner child doesn't want that. They don't want to remember the past. They don't want to relive the trauma. But that's what we make them do when we go to, mental health appointments. When we go and do things like CBT, and I'm not knocking any modality of healing because every modality of healing offers you something. But I promise you that your inner child, they don't want to remember. And that's why you don't do that inner work. That's why you avoid that. And that's why you'll go off and spiritually bypass. And I did that. For 2.5 years, I spiritually bypassed my journey. I literally just kept going. And I was so obsessed with what was really going on out there. I looked at all the files. I got really into the 17th letter of the alphabet. I mean, I was consumed by, QAnon. I was absolutely, it was my life. I was assumed by, celebrities, half male, half female, the whole polarity mix up. I got so into everything. And I used to spend hours and hours and hours on YouTube watching all sorts of stuff. But what I was really doing was trying to keep myself so busy that I didn't have time for my inner child. And that's why I will say the divine, they will step in at some point. So when your life is starting to crumble and it's starting to break down and all you feel is just this loss and this emptiness, that's the time that your inner child is like, hey, can you come and be with me? Can you come and spend some time with me? Can you get to know me? And a key takeaway that I want to give you in this video today is your inner child just wants you there in the morning. They want you to be the one that holds them, especially if you grew up in a very traumatic life like I did. So your inner child wants you to get them dressed in the morning. They want you to have a conversation. They want you to ask how they are. Did they have any dreams? Because I want you to know that your inner child, they truly are real inside of you. The only thing is your inner child doesn't know it lives inside of you. Your inner child is just sat on a swing, running your life on repeat. And that's why your patterns go over and over. That's why you'll meet the same people, but they'll be the same character. They just won't have the same name. They might look slightly different, but they'll play a role because everybody in your life is playing a role to get you to awaken to who you truly are. And it's only in the silence will you really find out who you truly are at the core, at the heart. So when you're with your inner child in the morning, make them the biggest part of your day. Do things with them, do activities, talk to them, tell them your name and your age. It's your biggest thing you'll ever do. I promise you, I work with clients all around the world, day in, day out. And the one thing I teach people, please tell them your age and your name. Don't try and reparent that inner child straight away. Become their friend. Become that person that is with them. It's for you to make them feel safe. It's not for somebody external. It's not for a partner, a husband, a twin flame, whatever. That little girl or that little boy inside of you requires your presence, requires your silence. But when we have such a dysregulated nervous system, it's constantly firing. And I remember the times that I would literally get out of bed and I would take my dog straight out, because I used to use "it's going to be hot today" in the summer here in the United Kingdom. And I literally would be up and out in 10 minutes. I used to spend all of my days off keeping myself so busy. I would walk my dogs and then I would come back and I would clean my caravan, or I would clean my house. How many of you do that? You don't stop until 6, but the OCD in you, which is an inner child issue, and the compulsion and the obsession you have, genuinely, that is trauma deep inside of you. And because my OCD was so bad, my house had to be clinically clean. It was ridiculous, the levels and the stuff that I got to. But what I truly want to say to you here is all of those things, they're coping mechanisms. Someone said to me last week, how did I stop drinking after 20 years? Honestly, I healed the reason behind why I was a drinker. How did I stop smoking after 17 years? I healed the reason why I wanted to pick up a cigarette. How did I stop my addictive personality? I healed the reason why I had the addiction. How did I get off social media? I healed the inner child part of me that wanted me to scroll for hours aimlessly. It's not a quick process, but the one thing that I am so glad of is that I found LK, my beautiful inner child, 4-year-old me. And that's the gift I'm giving you today. Because it's only in the silence will you really, truly find yourself. And it's amazing. It's also very strange, let me tell you. And here's one observation I'd love to just pass across to you today. Today, when I switched on my phone, I had one WhatsApp from my bestie and one notification from my school community. Let me take you back 2 months ago. It used to take me anything up to an hour to 90 minutes to get through comments on social media, to get through whatever people had emailed me, to get through WhatsApp, Signal, Instagram, whatever, and then YouTube on top. And then I used to find that I'd have no time in my day. And then when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, cool. I got a 9-minute message from my bestie. I only talk to her every day. I've left all group chats. I'm not on any social media platform at all. And then this morning, I had a slow morning. And it's 10 o'clock, and I've not been out of my dogs yet. That's the place you can get to. Today is my day. I only work 3 days a week. But I've done the healing to allow myself to have fantastic output on those 3 days. I didn't finish till late last night, And today, yes, it is my day off, and I probably will record some videos for my inner boy reset that I'm creating. But my point being that it took getting to the heart of my inner child. It took me making her feel safe. It took me spending time in my day with her continuously. And then when it came to the evening with my inner child, I made sure I fed her. I made sure I did things like I read her a story. I made sure that I sat with her in reflection, and I asked how her day was, what had been her trigger, what were her issues, what were her problems. And I made sure that I put her to bed. And if you take anything from this video, your inner child is the key to your silence. You can try the astrology, the master number, the human design. You can try life path number. But truly, the way to find peace and silence and quiet, that's your inner child. That's your operating system. And you have every answer you need inside of you. I broke it all down in my inner child reset. And I didn't understand when I made it last year why it was so masculine, why it tells you what to do exactly in the morning, at night, list of over 50 activities you can do with your inner child, how to talk to them, how to hug them, how to be with them, soothe them. It's there. If you don't know what to do, it's there for you. But let that be your gift and your takeaway today. That the very thing that you crave, the silence, is the most terrifying thing to the inner child inside of you, that just wants one thing from you. Your inner child only needs you. No one else, just you. You are the only person that can make your inner child feel safe. And that's why you see me. Life is so peaceful, so quiet, it's so silent, it's so present. Everything is amazing in the silence. And I want you to get there. I hope this video helps you. If you want to work with me, come and have a chat. It's just so quiet in my life and it's so beautiful. And I want you to have that too. I want you to find that silence and that peace. Because it's possible. From what I've been through as a kid, sexually abused by 6 men before the age of 11, I've had some of the worst, most extreme trauma in the whole wide world. But it's possible. And you're seeing this video because your inner child just needs you. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.